Hello everybody and welcome to a Ford Fiesta related video, but this time not actually working on Ruby at the moment, although I've just been out there to do a bit of tidying up. I'm gradually working towards, well, it's never an end goal because you're never finished, but I thought, since I do a lot of Ford Focus Mark 1 adverts and marketplace and looking at adverts and criticising people's adverts, or maybe praising them, or putting my opinion forward. And this is something I pride on. No other YouTuber tends to do this beside myself, although I suspect other people may just try and copy me. I'm only joking. But taking inspiration from me, I'm all for that. So if anybody wants to take that and do their own little thing, that's all good. Now, what we're going to look at is a bunch of Mark III Fiestas, ones that I can find that are up for sale. I might even look at Mark IV Fiestas, because actually a couple have come on the radar, quite interestingly, from, well, very early days of Mark IV Fiestas. So I thought I'd have a look and see what's out there, see how few are out there, or I might be surprised about that. Let's have a look. And straight away, after searching for Ford Fiesta Mark III, we have a few candidates already. So, straight in there. Okay, so we have a G-Reg example Ford Fiesta. Now, I believe that's Stratos Silver by the look of it straight away. And it's got a crash on the corner of the bumper. That's easy to rectify. You can get the aftermarket ones, but they ain't got no foaming. You want a genuine bumper, don't you? It's an automatic, apparently, according to this. 38,000 miles, so not too bad. 1.2, it can't be a 1.2, so it's probably a 1.1 or a 1.3 Valencia engine. High compression as well. Starts and runs, drives very solid, being 33 years old. The MOT expired this August. I haven't taken it for an MOT, but what I can see, needs a small bit of welding on the rear sill, and that's usual. Maybe needs a tyre. Other than that, no reason why it won't pass another MOT. V5 needs to be applied for. I really find it funny when the V5 has to be applied for. I mean, why have you not bothered to apply for the V5 yourself during the ownership? If you know it's been lost, you need to apply for it, because for me, it just smacks of slight dodginess. There are lots of weird issues with trying to get a V5, believe you me. And I think, when was this put up? 6 weeks ago? That's a long time. It doesn't look the best. Someone's put this stupid stripe on it. And these are not the correct trims. No. I can't tell what spec. I think it might be an LX. It's a poor shot. That's a sunlight there, but it just looks... no, it just doesn't look very good, does it? For £850... you could buy worse, I suppose. I mean, I don't know what's been going on there. Some fading, or I don't know what it is. That mud flap is not sitting right. They never sit right at the back. People can't sort out the clips. Yeah, that's pretty bad. I'll just hang you up a bit. Yeah, that's pretty bad. Yeah, you don't really want to be seeing that, but that's all got to be cut out. That's going to be expensive. At least he's honest to say that the other side is not bad, not the best, but not bad at all. And it is the high compression swirl engine, probably the 1.3 most likely. It looks really reasonable. Another Lion battery there. There seems to be a thing with, well, they don't need much juice to start, do they? Yeah, everything seems in order here. Seats look a little bit less baggy than the ones in mine, so yeah, it's one of them things. And what the heck is that? There is gaffer tape up here. What is that about? I bet you he's had some water leaks getting into the car, and he thinks that the gaffer tape is just going to deflect the water. Yeah, it is a thing with Fiestas to get water around there, so clearly water's been getting into the car, so I'd like to see what's under the carpets. At least the mileage checks out. Okay, I can see why people haven't bounced on this. It's not exactly the most presentable example, but, you know, the 33 years old. I mean, there's probably a lot of issues there. I think he needs to reduce the price to probably £600 because they're just not worth much in that sort of condition. It would probably take a good couple of grand to get that back to a really, really good standard, and that's the problem. Next one in the list is one that's been on my radar for some time because it is located in Dudley. £450. What is wrong with this LReg 94 plate? So it's a Mark 3.5. So Mark 3.5, we've got a bit of a different substructure really. Same body shell, but we've got side pretensioners in the doors. We've got some crash safety stuff all around the place, just little bits and pieces here and there. There's some very, very minor differences between the Mark 3 and Mark 3.5 that catch people out, including different bottom arms for the power steering, etc. There's quite a few little niggles, but this still has the big door mirrors. It hasn't got the small ones, so it hasn't moved over to that yet. No MOT, needs welding, sills. I think we're going to have a bit of a theme on this episode. Welding, sills, rear arches. Logbook needs applying for. Oh, for God's sake, that's the second one now. Honestly, what is wrong with people? Just apply for it. They just can't be bothered. 59,000 miles on the clock. So the gearbox has done well, to be fair. Well, it's just a scrapper, isn't it? Really, it could be saved, but at that price, it's crying out to be saved. But who's going to save it? It's really odd because the gearbox still works. To be honest, if I was tempted to buy that car, I wouldn't be able to use the engine or anything like that. But I'd take it for the gearbox. 450 quid. I'd take the gearbox straight away if it works. It's a pity that is. And it's a different steering wheel. I think they changed the steering wheel a few times. I actually like these steering wheels. But then they changed it again to the airbag style. So this is the non-airbag second type of steering wheel that was fitted to Mark III Fiestas. I like the original, the one that I've got in Ruby. But yeah, clear indicators is another one on the 3.5. But it's a shame to see it in that condition. And it's still up for grabs. And I just won't get tempted to buy it because it's very tempting to buy it. Very tempting. Now, this is the next one. It's a Mark III Sport, 1.6 Sport. So is this the S model then? Because by this stage, the S model had gone out of fashion, I suppose. I'm assuming that anyway, because the Sport came below the XR, replaced by the SI, so the S model. 5 owners and a genuine nice car. He's reduced it to £2,000. Okay, interesting. So it's a 1991. Has the RS option wheels. I can see that. Wind deflectors, front bumper overriders. It's been lowered. It's a genuine standard car with these extras. It's had a new exhaust and a gearbox mount. Has had other recently fitted parts and runs perfectly. Comes with a new back panel and new original wheel trims. Okay, that's interesting. I quite like that. Lots of history. Original bill sale. That's always good. Service book is stamped. Has nearly ever MOT. Handbook, receipts. Car is shown 40,000 miles, which is 140,000. Yeah, okay. So it's 140,000. That's quite a lot of miles for a Mark III. That is. It's a project that needs rear panel changing. Oh, I can see actually we've got some paintwork. The camera isn't picking it up. Needs some welding in a few places. Paint, boot floor, engine bay and mint. It's got everything it should have. I prefer the steel wheels and trims, but that's my preference. Comes with genuine Ford pull-out stereo. The engine bay looks unreal. Let's go and have a look. It is the S. It is a genuine S. Oh, I see what you mean. It's gone right on the corner. Not seen one go that badly on the corner before. As I say, this is an area I'm going to concentrate on with wax. It doesn't look any worse than Ruby's, to be fair. It does need a bit of a poof with the paint. That has been wet sand. Well, it's been keyed, it looks like. That's really nice. Oh, it's got the genuine battery cover. I think you only got them on the XRs and the S. You didn't get them on any other spec. The gears you didn't get them with. So that's nice. It looks really nice in there, very honest. Very, very honest indeed. With obviously, this is when they started adding. Obviously, you've got electronic fuel injection here, and you've got, I presume so. Hold on, no, that's a carburetor. That's a carburetor setup, but we've got an end-on dizzy coil pack, I should say. So no distributor, but a coil pack. That's quite interesting. Yeah, because the S models came with carburetors, not injection that the XR2i got. Sound deafening is always worth it. And I tell you what, this stuff is made out of fiberglass, and it's very it's good at what it does. I have to say, it looks really nice. It's not tacky like you get on later Fords. That's a good boot. Oh, hold on. I can see what he's been doing here. He's been covering it up. See, it's gone like mine. Ruby's gone in exactly the same place where, yeah, it's just starting to uncover the vents, because the vents run along here in this piece here and here, and Ruby's is just cracked at the end just a little bit, so you can actually see through into the vent, into the box section. That's not a problem. I don't consider it an issue, and unless I see water in the car, it's not really a thing. That's nice, that's very nice. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, very nice. It's a very honest car, that, and for £2,000 for an S, I would say because of the paintwork, that's what's put people off, because that car's going to need a full respray. So ideally, I would price it at 1,500, maybe 1,600, no less than that. There's quite a few on Marketplace today. Well, we've got to see an XR2i. Oh, sorry, an RS Turbo. Ugh, I've done it again. I've really got that mixed up again. Of course, we've got these at the front, which might give it away, Andrew. £12,000. Is that the going rate for RS Turbos? I'm not as interested in these because I've never owned one. It's had no welding issues, 3,000 spent. To be fair, you can spend thousands. Most of them have been resprayed because that's what they're worth a lot of money, and you can spend thousands and thousands on them. That's really nice. Yeah, that's really nice. I'd like to see that. This is what I'm trying to do. That's quite thick, actually, that wax oil. Well, underseal. I don't like when people slap it on like that. It just looks greasy and it's not nice. Probably does a thing though. With car seats, it's a very nice interior. I just wish that people showed the same sort of love and attention that I'm giving to Ruby, which is the same level of attention that all the RS Turbos and XRs get. Really, you know, anything gets broken, it gets replaced. You know, but I suppose values as well. You got to think about that. This has come up on my radar as well, and I'm very well aware about this car. It's a H-Reg Ford Fiesta with left-hand drive in Torquay 595, 80,000 miles, automatic transmission. Well, kilometres, but miles-ish. Automatic gearbox, 1.4. Gearbox issue. The dreaded CTX is plagued again. Mark III Fiesta, I really think I should get a spare gearbox. I've got a spare gearbox for Beatrix in the same sense, so I think I might need to get a spare gearbox. Anybody know anybody with a spare gearbox, a spare CTX that works? Just as an emergency. Left-hand drive automatic CVT gearbox, MOT to next year, but it's unfortunately. The car itself is immaculate. The bodywork is straight. The paint looks good. The arches are the cleanest. Sills look like they've never really seen a jack. The interior is 10 out of 10, but the car's lost drive. Might be a basic repair or placement gearbox. So this might possibly... The problem with these gearboxes, as I've proven with Project Milo, is that once you get problems with them, that might be at that for the gearbox, and a fresh fluid doesn't really, it's not going to do it if there's a problem. But if it's lost drive and it's not making stupid noises, I would suggest changing the fluid, and that could be a very nice keeper for someone. Yeah, it's based in Torquay. Very nice indeed. Well worth the money if you want to gamble. 1990 Ford Fiesta. So another G reg. There's quite a few ones coming up from G and H reg, but no F regs. 795. 96,000 miles. This is an automatic as well. You're joking. Where are all these coming from? The automatics are extremely rare. There's only about, as far as I'm aware, about 60 of them on the road, and there's about 150 odd sawned. And that's me. That's pretty bad, that isn't. But it does kind of show the problem. I'm pleased someone's... Oh, it's gone on the other side as well. No one's going to buy that. If you want a car to have a bit of fun in, been garage for 13 years, well, goodness me, did it actually go into the garage looking like that with the arches? It's a shame, that is. Gearbox works, you know, it's done 96,000 miles. So these gearboxes can do some severe miles without issue. Essex, well, you know, somebody should take a punt with that one. I mean, black it's a difficult colour, black, and I'd challenge anyone with that colour. Another Lion battery, blimmin' heck. Now, I've seen a few. 1993. This was on the group, and I've seen it before. It's an L Reg 1993, and it presents very, very nicely. 75,000 miles, manual, burgundy. I don't know what colour it is, I can't remember now. With the smaller door mirrors, so this was the changeover to a few Mark 3.5. Although, saying that, if it's on an L Reg, clear indicators. It's not got clear indicators. Has somebody changed them round? I don't know. 1.1. So he's taken the car in part exchange, honest little car, fair condition, covered 74,000 miles. Yeah, runs and drives well, 300 miles. This is a good description, this is. I've actually seen some extremely good descriptions with these cars so far. It just goes to show, interesting comparison with Rover 45 adverts and Focus Mark 1 adverts, is that there's a lot more of these cars that are really enjoyed by their owners. And if they are sold, they're given a good description. And these cars have been sold quite well. This is a good length of description, guys. Take note. The shell appears to be very solid. Just 1 2-inch piece on the passenger arch is bubbling. There are small bubbles next to the roof. The paint is okay. Some lack appeal here. Very presentable. It's just been serviced. Brake hoses, thermostat, coolant, throttle position sensor. That is a problem on... This is a CFI model. This will be a CFI, and they do have problems with the throttle position sensors. But apart from that, very good. Full logbook and all the keys. Lots of receipts. This is what we want to see. It's an LX. That's really nice. So we didn't get the body moldings because it's an LX. Well, the chrome trim strips. It's really nice to see. That's very good. That's very good. That's very good. You can see the bubbling there. However, I've got a feeling I can see filler and bad paintwork. That means that arch may not be as good. Well, I've got a thing with arches and Mark III Fiestas. Paintwork's gone a bit funny there, but it's just, it's age. Yeah. Is it worth the price? Well, I think it's been reduced. I think it's well worth the price, that one. I found another G-Reg one. Oh my goodness, and this is Stratos Silver as well. Yes, a very, very good launch colour. In fact, that was the one in the brochure. £1,200, manual gearbox, 15,000 miles. What? That's not been driven. New MOT, Plugs, leads, core pack, filter, discs, drives lovely. Only bad thing, boot doesn't open the latch. Doesn't open latch. Latch is gone. I'll tell you why it doesn't work. It's possible that the rod is missing its clip. I had that personal experience with Ruby. Oh my god. Can you see what's wrong with this car? This is one. I'm sorry. I don't mean to name and shame, but I'm going to name and shame you. This is utterly ridiculous. Nothing like this in the description. I can see why people haven't actually come for this car. That arch is made of total filler. Oh my god. That is bad. There's something going on there as well, which I'm picking up. I'm picking up filler all over here and here. Oh Jesus Christ! I mean, it's a dreadful shot, but I can just straight away tell. You can't hide. Well, you can hide filler, but you need to pay a good body man to actually smooth it out properly. Oh no, that is a bodging off. That needs metal, and it's been bashed there. No way. No way. I'm so sorry for that car. It can be repaired. It can be repaired, but oh dearie me. No. That's not good at all. I'm going to move on. That's depressing. This one, with its registration covered up, but it's a G-Reg on a 1989. So the paintwork's gone flat on this. 80,000 miles, spares and repairs, owned for 7 years. It's not the best, but it's a 3-door. It's a 3-door, 5-owner Mark III Fiesta. Scabby around the arches, welded in the past. I've decided I don't want it anymore. Yeah, it's a 33-year-old that's lived mostly outside of a garage, so it's not a barn find. Happy to drive away. Just amended it. It's 5 owners, not 3. Yeah, it's just, no, that's really shocking work, that is. I just don't know why people have a go and make the job worse. You're not saving money. You're just going to look at a piece of crap. But the rest of it's absolutely fine. That's a shame, that is. That car needs help. There's rot there. And it's just, Jesus. It's a shame. So many of these cars have gone through owners who just wanted to put a patch here and a patch there and a patch here, and you end up just with this, a car at the end of its life because it's got too many patches on it. It's really sad. Oh, okay, Reg, this has caught my eye. I've done a video on it. Bit of wind noise, but that's really nice. Oh, it's an automatic. Ooh. That's a tidy engine bay. 52,000 miles. White, diamond white. Yeah, his boot's in a better condition than mine, but it won't be for too much longer. Well, has he got a hole in his boot? Oh dear. Might have the potential same issue that Ruby has had at some point. 1.1L. Very nice indeed. Looks very original at the back. Number plates, yeah, they've been changed a little bit, you know, for the 3D ones. Wait a minute, it's just had a full professional respray. Oh, new wheels and tyres serviced. I'm not a massive fan of the wheels, but it's just, you know, it is how it is. Transmission service, good. Too much to list, it's a bargain. Okay, I think that's worth, you know, discussing with the owner. That, not me personally, but if you're looking for a 1.1L automatic, yeah, it's very good, very tidy. Again, different steering wheel. It's the correct steering wheel, but for the year, goodness me, how many steering wheels a Mark III Fiesta had? It just baffles me. That's a good car, and if it's had a professional respray on it, and I think it has, that's well worth the price. And we know that the owner is losing a lot of money on that, so please go for that. Now, this one that I've just seen, and I'm going to finish off quickly. 1995, so towards the end, 2,250, 50,000 miles, manual gearbox, advertised elsewhere, 4 owners, including myself, one being the Ford garage it started in. It was a forecourt show display car. Nice. It was owned by an elderly lady who took good care of it, followed by a chap who used it as a stopgap for a couple of months, then me. That's a good story, that is. I love stories like that, where you know exactly the relationship the owner has had with that car and how they've cared for it. That's really important, particularly when you're moving the car on. This car is totally original, no modifications, I can see that. The LX benefits from electric windows, power steering. Well, I believe that at this stage the LX gained it. The original LX is on the right at the start of Mark III production, did not get any of that unless it was an optional extra. Simple as. It was always a gear standard thing. Near perfect, no cracks, rips, scratches, new battery, new standard exhaust, never let me down, great shape, brilliant. That's a good advert, that is, for that car. And these are good photos. Bit of tiny bit, but that's nothing. We got the airbag on this, so it's very late one. Because that is a Mark IV steering wheel. Boot looks really good. Boot looks very, very, very good indeed. None of that is actually cracked. They get to a certain age where they start cracking up. Quite interesting. Very nice indeed. That's a very good picture. I like it when people show that. That is very original underneath. Thank God that mine is an early one without a cat and no bloody heat shields. I can't stand heat shields. They always fall off. That's very honest, and I just can't see anything wrong with that. Tiny, I can see a tiny bit of touch up there, so it has started to go there. That's really tidy. I love photos like that. Do you know what? I think $2,000 and you got a deal, buddy, for somebody out there. Come on, somebody needs to buy that. Unless this is an old advert. It was 6 weeks ago, but come on. Oh my goodness, it's another automatic as well. I think the automatic, you know, supposedly for most of the car's life, or generically or historically, the CTX has always been quite an infamous gearbox in the world of Ford. But why am I seeing more automatics than manuals available? Just goes to show that I don't think they're as bad as what you think. And this might be a snapshot, but straight away I'm seeing like a 50-50 manuals to automatics, and that certainly wouldn't have been the case when new. There'd have been probably 90% of them would have been manuals, or probably more than that. So just goes to show the automatics are quite cared for, and they're not bad gearboxes when you look after them. 25,000 miles, possibly the reason this hasn't failed yet, but you know, we know that better than that. Very nice indeed. New tyres, brakes, full service, 1.1 LX. Looks very tidy underneath. Very tidy inside. Very nice indeed. And I hope that if that's a nice car underneath, then yeah, that's worth it any day of the week, especially an automatic. Come on. Right, this one is in Chelmsford. So it's for £1,200. Manual transmission. 1.1. I've recently bought this Mark III. Was going to do crazy stuff to it, but I've come to the conclusion it's too nice and original to mess about with it, and I'll probably never get round to doing it. I know some of you guys know how it is. Needs a bit of welding in the usual places. Nothing crazy, runs and drives brand new. Interior is near immaculate, had no service history from the previous owner, was sat in a garage. Oh, like Ruby then. For 10 plus years all round, good. Oh, Sat in the garage for 10 plus or for 10 plus. Okay. Good little car, 2-door, quite desirable. Thanks for looking. If you want to see any more pictures, just message 1200. Oh, for goodness sake. Should I say something? Yes, this is the owner before the last owner of Project Ruby. His name's Kieran, and he's very well known on the Mark III groups. I wondered that this text message looked a bit familiar. Okie dokie. What have you got here, Kieran? Bit scabby here and there and all that, yeah. Yeah, is this your house, Kieran? Is this where Ruby was based? This is quite a bit of interesting bit of history. Is this where Ruby was sitting for ages? Very nice. I can see where it's gone there. That's a very... Oh, that's awkward. Oh my God! It's got the original tailpipe on it. That's very rare because Ruby's was not in great condition, and we're missing... I was missing the fluted end of mine. Very much so, but there was no badging on the back then. Some models never got it. It's too nice. I have to say it's a bit scabby around the edges, but you know, it deserves a life, doesn't it? It deserves a chance, and I would say £1,000, and you'll have somebody, buddy. I know you're watching this, so I do like that. You didn't even get a glove box lid on the poor models, so yeah, it deserves a chance. And do you know what? I'm going to wrap this video up there. Well, I think we should end the video there. A slight surprising introduction to one of Ruby's previous owners, the owner that bought it, I believe, off the family, or I can't remember the story now, but basically there have been a couple of short-term owners of Ruby, and Kieran had the car, I believe, for about 6 months. So I'm pleased that it's found its way to my hands via a few people. Yeah, quite an interesting one, that. So I'm going to end that there. Quite an interesting bunch of cars. The adverts are all really good. There's lots of wording, there's lots of detail, and as you can expect, the difference between a Mark III Fiesta and a Mark I Focus is 10 years, 10 to 15 years essentially, mainly 10 years on average. And that 10 years is just enough to create that just a little bit more service history. I mean, I bought my Rover P6 when it was 41 years old, or getting on for 41, and the amount of history that came with was quite vast, actually. And you'd expect that after 41 years. And these Fiestas, Ruby's 34, you know. I think with that 34 years, I've got no service history to show for it, but I do have some knowledge of where the car came from, and its service history, who had it, where it was based, and a couple of bits of information from the last owners, and you kind of put the jigsaws together about the car, and I'm finding that out as I work on the car. And they come with way more history, and there's far more to talk about. So somewhat with Mark I Focuses, it's just a car to most people. It's Bangonomics still, sadly. I wish it wasn't, but there are still people that have got them for that reason, because they're just reliable. They're becoming less reliable, and that's why they're finding their way into enthusiast hands who are willing to get their hands dirty or put a little bit of money into their car, because they value it as a car and not as an actual working object. Mark III Fiestas, there are still some that are in daily use, which is just ridiculous. They were pretty reliable back in the day. They'd have their niggles, but they were pretty good cars overall. I wouldn't say they were, you know, astonishingly advanced. They weren't. They looked far different from the Mark II and brought forward into the 90s a little bit. So definitely things needed to be done there. But the adverts themselves, very good adverts. Detail, lots of pictures and better pictures. But as we've seen in a couple of adverts, some dishonesty and clear dishonesty. Vagrant dishonesty, especially the advert with the one. Well, to be fair, every single Fiesta we've seen here have rust issues. I'm afraid that is the world of Ford. Fix or repair daily. And with that, I'm going to leave you. Take care. See you very soon.